Greetings, Planeswalkers. Gamesman here. One of my dailies today is white and black spells, so in keeping with that, I will show you my Ordained Clerics deck. 100-card deck in the standard format with white and black as its foundation. As you can guess, a lot of clerics, and there are a lot of clerics in the game currently. A lot of them have a entry mechanic, which you'll find in this deck, and I'll show you why shortly. So 1 mana, we've got Chaplain of Alms. This is a good card in that it has Ward 1, First Strike, and Disturb, and brings out another cleric. That also has some mechanics that gives all of our characters Ward 1. And it's very inexpensive, of course. Cleric class, you'd expect to find this in this deck. And then Lunarch Veteran as well. Unholy Officiant, this is a card for both early and late game. It's easy to get out, a 1/2 with Vigilance. And then we can put a +1/+1 counter on it with 4 colorless and 1 white. Dawnbringer Cleric, again another cleric that has options, and you know I like cards with options. Lunarch Aspirant, this is a great card. You get this card out early and focus on a creature, and that creature can get overwhelming pretty quickly. Skyclave Cleric, say that 3 times fast, has the option of either mana or entering the battlefield. Elderfang Disciple, we can cause our opponent to discard a card. Infernal Grasp, we're going to probably be gaining a fair amount of life in this deck, so losing 2 life is inconsequential with the ability to destroy a creature for only 1 colorless and 1 black. Null Priest of Oblivion, Menace Lifelink, a kicker to bring a target creature back from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then Cleric of Life Bond. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. There's some of our life gain right there, and then this creature gets counters. Some more creature destruction or exiling with Expel. The Moon-based Blessed Cleric will typically be used to get the Teleportation Circle, which I'll get to in a second. Priest of Ancient Lore. Righteous Valkyrie, you guys have heard me talk about this card in the past. It's a great card. Selfless Glyph Weaver, we've got some options here as well. Either way, we can do a lot with this card. It's a very powerful card. Demon's Disciple, this card has its uses. Marauding Blight Priest, since we're gaining life in this deck so much, this is a pretty useful card as well, and only a common. Taborax, Hope's Demise. You can see has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters. We're going to be getting counters from Cleric class and others. And whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Taborax. And if it was a Cleric, draw a card and we lose 1 life. Markov Purifier, lifelink Cleric. We can also draw cards here. And then Relic Vial. As long as we control a cleric, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So we've got that going as well. Attended Healer, a cleric. We can give another cleric lifelink. Teleportation Circle. All of these cards, these clerics with these mechanics, when they enter the battlefield, we can double up. Or we can attack and then take a cleric that we have that is tapped and untap it by the end of the turn. So this is really a cornerstone card for this deck. You could conceivably go with 4 in here, but it's only a 100-card deck, which is pretty thin for me. So I'm still kind of working back and forth with either 2 or 4 in the deck. Grim Bounty, pretty straightforward. Aetheria, Judge of Valor. Flying and lifelink again. Whenever we cast our second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of our library, put 1 of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. So we can put creature cards into the graveyard, get them back out with Null Priest of Oblivion. And if we put Chaplain of Alms into the graveyard, we've got its Disturb to bring it back out. Zoff Consumption, black mana or 4 life for us and negative 4 life for opponents. And then we've got some utility planes and swamps, as you can see, to round out our mana. So this is a pretty solid deck. It's a pretty fast deck, given that it's got a lot of 1 and 2 mana cards. And once our life gets over 27 or up to 27, all of our creatures, which aren't terribly big, get +2/+2, which changes the game a fair amount. We can deal with our opponent's cards or their hand in a variety of ways with some of these other clerics. And so it's a very useful deck. You've got a lot of variations and options to do as you play. And like I said, it's fairly fast, so it's a fun deck to play and works pretty well. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Add a comment if you have something to say about this deck or you've given it a try. And I really appreciate all my viewers. It'd be great if you could share my channel as well. My goal is 1,000 subscribers, so we're working on that. And I appreciate you guys watching. This is Gamesman saying see you later.